Hey, yo, vinyl community. Welcome, welcome. I'm Curtis Young. This is Young LP Lovers. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you spending some time and chatting music. Coming on to do one of the tags that's floating around. It's tag season, right? I'm a little late to the game. Tag season, I think, has come a little early this year. So, I've been busy with some home renos and Christmas shopping and all that jazz. But I'm onto it. I'm going to do a Americana vinyl tag for Sam St. John, now of Americana Sam. If you're not familiar with Sam's channel, he is the go-to guy for all things Americana. Great channel, great fella. I was nominated by my buddy Rob over at Northern Revolutions. And now Americana's not my go-to genre, right? So I had to cast the net pretty wide to get this in. And I wanted to kind of, in the spirit of what Rob did, Rob did the Americana vinyl tag, and he used all Canadian artists. And kind of in that spirit, I wanted to do something similar. So I've got a couple of repeats and so forth in here, but I think it fits the bill, right? So it's going to be a lot of kind of the biggest names that you would expect to see, and super obscure local regional acts here from like Cape Breton Island. And I'm going to do some needle drops on those so you can get a feel for what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's 15 questions. I've got my list. Let's jump into it. Oh, yeah, so first I need to shout out a few channels, or a channel. I couldn't decide on one, so I've got two I'm going to shout out. I've been trying to think, who do I watch regularly who would do a good job of this? And the first one I thought of, last check, he hasn't done it yet, is Jonathan over at Cheap and Cheerful Records. John has a fantastic collection, a big collection, a lot of jazz and blues, but I think he would nail this Americana tag. So Jonathan, if you're up for it. And then the other one is a pair of fellas on the East Coast here at Halifax, Nova Scotia, John and Steve over at This Sonic Obsession. Great channel. I love the back and forth between John and Steve. They've got a really deep knowledge of this kind of stuff, so I think they would do an outstanding video as well. So if you're up for it, I'd love to see it. All right, so first question we have, favorite Americana album of 2024. Well, I don't have any from 2024. I have one of 2023. I didn't get it till 2024. And this is a local artist by the name of Elise Aaron. Elise Aaron is making a lot of waves here in Nova Scotia recently. She just won the Entertainer of the Year award at our local Nova Scotia Music Awards. So a lot of good entertainers here in Nova Scotia. So that's a pretty big piece of hardware that she walked away with. Rightfully so. I think she's absolutely spectacular. I learned about her in the lead up to last year's Juno Awards. She was kind of on one of those, I don't know what they call it, like a Rising Star showcase. Got to see that live. This album, Joy State of Mind, is a little bit more country than it is rock, but her live show, man, it rocks. If you get a chance to see her live, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I'm throwing in with the Americana genre. She was invited to Nashville recently for the Americana Festival. I don't know if that's a yearly thing or what. I know nothing about the festival, but I know she was on the Canada House stage at that festival and got really good reviews while she was there. So this is signed by her, and she gave me a little note as well. So that's pretty cool. And that leads right into number 2, which is favorite Americana song of 2024. So again, this is 2023. So it's probably a tie for the first 2 tracks. Criminal and Under My Skin. The title track's pretty good too. What was it again? Joy State of Mind. So she's got some real rockers, some more ballady, slow kind of stuff. But I'm going to give you a sample of one of those 2, probably Under My Skin. Enjoy. favorite Americana song with a banjo. Okay, well, I actually don't have the album, so I'm going to show this in its place. There's a banjo on the cover there. That's the soundtrack from Deliverance. Dueling Banjos being the notable track on there. But I want to highlight a local Nova Scotia artist again from, I want to say Chester, Nova Scotia. I might be wrong on that. Old Man Ludikai. I think that's how you say the last name. Ludikai. In any case, banjo player, favorite on the festival scene. I've seen him at a few festivals. I've seen him open with Adam Baldwin last year, I guess, when he played the Hat in Sydney. Yeah, just a lovely banjo player. And there's one song in particular that it's a bit hokey, maybe, I don't know, but it just pulls at my heartstrings, right? It's about how quickly the early years of children go, right? As a parent, and I just love it. My kids are well, they feature on the channel, so if you've watched the channel, you know my kids. But they're like 11 and 9 now, so those early years are just about gone, right? And this really pulls at my heartstring. So I'm going to give you a sample of it. Check it out. Let me know what you think.
An old man lined up behind us, and he shook his head. The kids were strangely quiet. I heard him when he said, "You got to hold on. It goes so fast. These early days, well, they don't last. Got to enjoy them. They go so fast. The baby days, well, they don't last. Look forward to the evening when the monkeys go to bed."
Number 4 now, favorite acoustic guitar player. All right, so I am going to go with local legend, icon of the local music scene, I suppose, and that is Jimmy Rankin. Jimmy Rankin was a member of the Rankin family in the 1990s, who did sort of Celtic flavored pop, kind of rootsy music, right? For lack of a term to describe it, I'm not sure how else to describe it really. So of course here in Cape Breton Island there's a really strong Celtic music scene. We have, I think, one of the world's largest Celtic music festivals in Celtic Colour every fall. If you're a Celtic music fan, what are you waiting for? Come on down. It's a great time if you're into that kind of music at all. It's a month-long festival. It takes place all over the island. Anyway, Jimmy, one of the brothers who is still around. We've lost Raylene and, I can't remember the other brother's name. Died in a car accident. It's escaped me. Anyway, but Jimmy's still doing his thing, and oftentimes acoustic. He does a lovely acoustic version of the title track on this one, Fare Thee Well, from 1990. I'll link the YouTube video for that down below. He also does a lot of other acoustic guitar work. Usually acoustic plugged in. Is it still acoustic if you plug in? I don't know. Anyway, I'm counting it. Jimmy Rankin for favorite acoustic guy. Americana album that you need to spin again is number 5. I'm going to go with these guys. The Band. Yeah, The Band. Yes, I'm classing them as a Canadian group here. The Band. This is their Northern Lights and Southern Cross. I've talked about why The Band is Canadian before, right? For the 5 members, and Leon was spent a lot of time in Canada. So I'm calling them Canadian band based in the US. Yeah. Anyway, this has got Acadian Driftwood on it, which I really like, and Ophelia, which is a great song as well. But it's been a while since I spun it, and I don't really remember many of the other tracks, so I'm going to go with The Band and Acadian Driftwood. L'Acadie! That's the other music tradition here, is the Acadian French, right? Lots of great stuff there as well. All right, let's go to number 6, most listened to Americana artist in 2024. That would have to be Adam Baldwin. Adam Baldwin, formerly of Matt Mays, out doing his thing. Fantastic artist. Think like Bruce Springsteen, kind of rocker, but this is more of his folk album. Concertos and Serenades is the name of the album. Brings me to the next question, number 7. Let's see, most listened to album is also this, right? My favorite song on here is probably Lighthouse and Little Lorraine. Just such a good story. In fact, it's such a good story that they're turning it into a film. And I think they've wrapped filming on it here in Lewisburg, Cape Breton. It's the story of a, well, you know what? I'm going to give you a sample. Enjoy Lighthouse and Little Lorraine.
He says there's a boat coming up from America with caskets filled with cocaine. There's a gold mine out on the ocean and a lighthouse in Little Lorraine. There's a lighthouse in Little Lorraine. He took his boat off the coast of Bateston, just out of sight of the shore. Me and my cousin and a Frenchman I never laid eyes on before. We met a boat that had come up from Boston. We started heaving boxes overboard. Here we handed them a big bag of money. We were back in the harbor around 4. Singing there's a boat coming up from
Okay, number 8, show an underrated Americana album. All right, so I am going to feature these guys. Holler. Holler is a three-piece outfit, again here from Cape Breton, made up of Steve McDougall on vocals and guitar, Mike Laleviere on vocals, acoustic guitar, and bass. I thought there was some banjo on here as well. Maybe I'm mistaken. Anyway, and Colin Grant on the fiddle. Well-respected local fiddle player in Colin Grant. This is Mike and Steve's side project. They have another sort of, I guess I'll call it a rock band called Slow Coaster. This is a mix again of kind of folky and Celtic inspired music. Just it came out right around the time of COVID, and I think, well, it's got play locally. It never really kind of spread from that, and I think that's a shame because I think there's some, like I say, there's fantastic fiddle playing on here. They do some traditional tunes. Actually, my favorite one on here is The Wind That Shakes the Barley, the opening track. But in terms of kind of like Americana, I think maybe Widow's Vow, that's got a lot of fiddle based. It's a lot of, might be a bit more Celtic. Long Way Home, that's really kind of, I don't know, I'd call it folk-like. Maybe I'll give you a sample of that one. Check this out.
Hungry, tired, drunk, and barely breathing, wandering the landscape of your soul. Talk about your problems and neglect your fellow man. The truth will cut those feelings to the bone. It's a long way home. Shadows on your face as you drift along. It's a long way home. I can't even see the road in front of me, driving through a storm that's raging fast. You don't have a choice because you know you gotta go, even if you think your mind won't last. It's a long way home.
Next up, number 9, show an Americana collaboration. Well, I had to go with a pretty obvious one here. Again, I had to cast the net pretty wide to fulfill the genre need and also the Canadian connection. So I'm going with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. This is Four-Way Street. or their live recording. I don't think I need to say too much about this album. They were almost one group, really. I don't know if you could even call it a collaboration, but that's what I'm going with. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Next, an underrated album by your favorite Americana artist. If I had to go favorite Americana artist, it's probably got to be Neil. Yeah, Neil Young. And Uncle Neil, as I like to say. Yeah. No relation, as far as I know. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Zuma. I don't know if this album's underrated or not, but I don't see many people talk about it. I don't see people show it. For me, it's got to be a top 5 Neil Young album, right? It's right up there with Harvest and After the Gold Rush and what is it? Here is Nowhere. What's the title? I can't remember the title. Anyway, but it's Crazy Horse is just spectacular on here. Stupid Girl's the one that I guess still gets radio play, but like Cortez the Killer that's an amazing track. Through My Sails with Crosby, Stills, and Nash as well. That's also really good. Yeah, I just think it's a great album, and so. Underrated? I don't know. Underrepresented? I think so. So there we go. Americana album cover with a suit. Okay, with a suit. So when I think Americana, I think like classic Canadian music with a suit. I'm going to go open my little box set here. Leonard Cohen's well known for wearing a suit, especially in his later years. So here he is with his first album, sort of kicking off the folk revival. I would count this as Americana in my kind of thinking of what Americana music is. The great Leonard Cohen, may he rest in peace. What else is wearing a suit on? Let's do a quick look. That looks like it might be a suit. That's hard to tell. Might have a suit there. No suit there. No suit there. Oh, leisure suit. Does that count as a suit? Leisure suit. Let's open it up. All right, a little leisure suit. Could be a suit. Where did Cohen spend most of his life? I know it wasn't in Canada. Was it in, I think it was somewhere in Europe, wasn't it? Was it in Belgium or something like that? There's another suit. Yeah, anyway, so the great singer, songwriter. Okay, number 12, Americana album with a beard. This fella, this is probably my favorite album by this artist, actually. And he's got a beard right here. Not a great beard, kind of, I don't like myself. Sad excuse for a beard. Mr. Gordon Lightfoot. This is Sundown, yeah. Beautiful album. What year was Sundown? Let's see if I can see here. Must be mid-70s somewhere. I don't see the year on it. 74, there we are, 74. High and Dry, Somewhere USA, Circle of Steel, Is There Anyone Home? The Watchman's Gone, Sundown, Carefree Highway, The List, Too Late for Praying. Just some excellent songwriting and music on this one. So Mr. Gordon Lightfoot for the win. Number 13, 2 albums on the same label. I couldn't get very creative here either. I went with Reprise, I guess. And I'm going Miss Joni Mitchell and Mr. Neil Young. Yeah, classics. Again, I would still class this as Americana. I think Americana's got maybe a more rootsy kind of feel these days. But I certainly think that these artists would still be considered Americana, especially at the time they would be, although the term came later, so I don't know. I struggle with no guardrails on, right? What can I call Americana, what can't I? So, number 14, an Americana Grail. Okay, so a Grail that I don't have, that I've been looking for a long time. It's not that I can't get it. I can just buy a new copy. It's still in print. But I've been trying to find, a good used copy, and it doesn't come up very often, if at all, around here. And that's The Last Waltz, the band. So that's my Americana Grail. It's been on my want list for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. I've been keeping an eye out for it, and yeah, it just never shows up. And when it does, it's really, really expensive. So I do not own a copy of The Last Waltz, and I need one. And lastly, where did I put it? What do they call it? An Americana album you're hoping for in 2025. Give me a second here, folks. I'm going back to Holler. Sorry for the repeat, but so this came out in 2020, right around 2020, right at the start of the pandemic. Their side project Slow Coaster has since put out an album. They still tour, they still play locally. I think we need another album from Holler. So yeah, let's get another Holler album out there. All right, that is my Americana vinyl tag for Sam St. John. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Rob, for nominating me. I appreciate it. Wish you all a Merry Christmas. One love. Peace.
Within the valley green, I sat me with my true love. My sad heart strove the two between the old love and the new love. The old that hurt, the new that made me think of Ireland dearly. While soft the wind blew down the glade and shook the gold